about Kroupi, or Eli Kroupi. Junior Kroupi, whatever you want to call him. There was an article last night on Sport, and his agent has been piping up, talking about where he could potentially end up. And it was a strange article for me. It was a very strange article. But let's go through it and we'll see what we think. So it says, Eli Junior Kroupi has established himself as one of the most attractive names in the transfer market. Great season, signed by the French striker, has multiplied the interest of several great European clubs and has placed him at the centre of numerous speculations in recent weeks. Among the teams that have been linked to the attacker, Barcelona appears. Given the complexity of the operation by Julian Alvarez, the main objective of the sports manager to reinforce the forward, different reports pointed at Kroupi was among the footballers monitored by Barcelona for the present and the future. At the same time, rumours about a possible landing at Tottenham also intensified. Obviously, this is, by the way, in Spanish, so it's been translated. So if it's a bit strange, that's why. Several media claim that the London team, with Roberto De Zerbi at the head of the project, has taken the position to get the services of the young striker. However, the player's environment has wanted to put a break on all this information. Moussa Sissoko, who is the representative of Kroupi, and by the way, it's not the Moussa Sissoko, it is top agent Moussa Sissoko. And by the way, I have heard that Sissoko and Barcelona's relationship is a bit frosty because he had Ousmane Dembele there, and there's a bit of a bad, apparently some sort of bad things that have happened between Barcelona and Moussa Sissoko. Anyway, Moussa Sissoko, representative of Kroupi, gave an interview to 365 Scores in which he clarified the situation of the footballer and denied several rumours that have circulated in recent days. The agent response to the alleged Barca interest was forceful. Sissoko denied there had been any type of negotiation between the footballer and Barcelona and assured that it is not correct to link his name with the Catalonian club at this time. The representative also explained that there's been no contact nor any conversation between the two parties. Statements call for now the possibility of Kroupi's part in Hansi Flick's immediate plans. The position of a 9, although the door is not closed, as we have told in Sport. So, I mean, because like you brought this translation yesterday, and this translator has done it like a bit of a different terminology and wording. So it's a bit strange and a bit hard to take exact what they mean by it. But it goes on to say Barca was not the only club mentioned during the interview. In recent days, various reports from England had indicated the attacker was close to becoming a new player of Tottenham. However, Sissoko also took care of denying that scenario. The agent assured that there is no agreement with Tottenham, and the versions that speak about a practically completed operation do not reflect the real situation of the player. Despite denying the contacts with Barcelona and Tottenham, the representative made it clear that Kroupi's future remains unresolved. The striker continues to analyse the different options that he has on the table and has not made a definitive decision on what the next destination will be. This one is in quotation marks. It says, "We continue to debate its future. We will see what happens in the coming days. At the moment, there is no final decision." So the message they transmit from the footballers' environment is one of calm, with much of the market still ahead, several clubs attentive to their situation. The priority is to carefully evaluate each alternative before taking the next step in his career to continue full progression. So that is the article in its entirety. It's strange because there's only one quote in there, and that's the quote I just spoke about. There is no other quote. It's all just kind of this article making, I don't even know what. Like, why is there no more quotes in this article?
Yeah, it seems as though the agent is speaking to this outlet, this journalist, but for some reason he's only directly quoted him with one quote, but with the other, whatever he said to him before, he hasn't directly quoted him. He's just said what he said, which is a bit strange. But you can kind of infer this is him talking to the journalist. Before,
but also we don't know what was asked. We don't know what was actually said. You know, it's all very strange.
I think he was asked about any links to Barca, and he was asked if there's an agreement with Spurs. I think that's what he was asked. So he was asked pretty directly on those two things. I do find the language kind of interesting because he was saying when asked about any rumours about Barcelona being interested, he was very forthright, he said, and he said he denied any negotiation. There's been no contact and no conversation between any party, and he said it is. He also said it's not appropriate to link Kroupi with
See, it says that
Barca.
in yours, but that doesn't say that in mine. So
Well, this is
how
Google Translate, yeah.
mine's Safari Translate. So I mean, like, it depends.
Well, what does it say? Well, what's the difference?
Mine didn't say those words. What did you say just now?
Well, no, denied any negotiation, no contact has been made, no conversation with the parties.
No, after that.
And he said, and asserted that it's inappropriate to link his name to the Catalan club.
It doesn't say that here. Inappropriate. Which line of the article?
You
is
go
that?
down. Your one says, so 1 minute, denied with Barca. Yours says that it's not correct to link his name with the Catalan club. My one says it's not appropriate. It's inappropriate to
There
link
we
his
go.
name
So
to
it's
the
more or less the
Catalan
same,
club.
I guess.
But anyway, my point being is he's shutting it down completely. He's saying there's not even been any conversation. It's inappropriate to even talk about Kroupi and Barca. But when asked about Spurs, he's asked, there's rumours of an agreement. There has been rumours flying around, social media. There's been these TikToks going around about agreements. So these rumours have been flying around, these little things. He's asked about the agreement, and he says that isn't the reality of the situation. The agent says there's no agreement that has been finalised with the London club, and the reports of a deal being completed do not reflect the player's actual situation. So that's what he's saying. But what's interesting is when he's asked about Barca, he completely shuts down there's been any conversation. But he doesn't quite do the same with Tottenham. He doesn't confirm anything, but he could have, if there wasn't any conversations with Tottenham, like with Barca, he could have said, when asked, is there an agreement? He could have said, there's not even any conversation. We're not even talking to them. But he doesn't say that, which I find a bit interesting. Obviously, he is denying any agreement, which is fine, and I understand that. But what was also interesting in the final quote, if you look at some of the language he uses, we'll see what happens in the coming days. At the moment, there's no final decision. What does that imply? There's a decision to make.
Mm-hmm.
That implies that there's offers on the table, and we have to decide what we're going to do with them. And are we going to move to this club? Are we going to stay at Bournemouth? But if there was no one in for him, there wouldn't be any decision to make. He'd be staying at Bournemouth.
But I mean, in terms of Barcelona, this is like the kind of first we're hearing of it, isn't it? Like this report. And he's saying like there been no talks with Barcelona. Well, I wasn't aware of any talks with Barcelona before anyway. So like the names that have been dropped before have been Arsenal, PSG, Tottenham. So there's been no mention of PSG. There's been no questions asked about Arsenal, no questions asked about PSG. What's the situation with those clubs? Have those clubs made contact? If he was asked about PSG and Arsenal, would he have said the same?
Who knows?
About the questions about Tottenham. So I don't know. I don't know if there's much in this article, because we know, like from SZY, that they've been speaking to Kroupi's representatives, don't we? So
yeah.
I don't. Really know if
that's what he says. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's been pretty spot on so far this transfer window, so no reason not to believe him.
Yeah, but you can't just take it as fact.
Yeah, of course. But I'm saying like there's real new information here.
Well, it's coming from the agent, so it's a bit more. You can't, obviously when these kind of people are talking to agents and stuff, or talking to journalists. Sorry, I should say. Obviously, they're not going to come out and confirm many things. Right now, they're in a stage where clearly he's saying they're talking to clubs. Well, he's not saying it, but he's implying. But what he says is no final decision. We're going to decide in the next coming days, right? He's not saying anything there, but what you got to listen to what he's not saying, and what he's not saying is kind of implying there is something to be decided.
Yeah, of course there is.
So you've got to read in between the lines. And what I'm trying to see here is when he talks about Barca. My only point is he's being very forthright. He's being very aggressive about there's just no contact, but it's not quite the same tone with Tottenham.
Because there has been contact with Tottenham,
right?
There probably hasn't,
and that's
been
what
contact with
we're
Barcelona.
learning.
But there's probably been contact with other clubs as well.
There might have been. That's fine, but I'm just saying that's quite interesting because we're hearing little bits from SZY, and when the agent, to hear the agent speak, and you have to kind of piece things together. That's what we learn. Obviously, all we're learning really that we think there are probably been conversations with Tottenham and Kroupi, which is not majorly new. We do know that, but when you're reading between the lines from the agent, I just think that's a bit interesting. But yeah, it doesn't confirm he's come to Tottenham, doesn't confirm anything. Of course, this is the agent trying to play the game. He's trying to get the bet. What's quite interesting, I find as well from this, is SZY said that we obviously had held positive talks, but he thinks he's going to shop if we agree a deal, put a deal in, he thinks he's going to shop that deal around to other clubs and see where the land lies, to PSG and Arsenal, whatever. So, that last quote he says implies that's maybe what they're doing at the moment. He's just we don't have any final agreements. Maybe he's going to see who else is actually interested, who's willing to put the money down, who Kroupi really, really wants, and then they'll make a final decision. So I think from all these quotes, it very much kind of backs up maybe what SZY has been saying.
And on the back of that report, Bournemouth have made it front and centre of their new kit launch today. Can we bring that up actually on X? On the tweets, the last two pictures. Literally, first thing in the morning, I open my X account and this is what I see. Pure shithousery from Bournemouth, man. This is the first, literally no context, whatever, just a cherry. If you go to the other one,
Alex Scott as well.
Yeah, teasing their new kit. And then literally an hour later, they put Alex Scott and Junior Kroupi, the two players that have been heavily linked with moves away, as the front and centre of their new kit launch. And by the way, what a horrible kit that is. That is disastrous.
What's wrong with it?
I think it's awful. That Vitality logo.
Oh, yeah, the logo's not nice.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I think it's just them trying to send a bit of a message, trying to kind of put a bit, trying to send a message. If you're going to get them, we're not looking to sell. There are players. We're going to use them and to promote our new kits because we expect them to be here next season. That's kind of the message they're sending out. We've seen it a number of times though, enough times now that just because they're on a kit launch doesn't mean too much. We've seen players leave before or after being in kit launches
many times.
It does obviously it's part of the negotiation, isn't it? All these things.
Yeah.
So.
Look, Brighton tweeted a picture of Van Hecke a few days before we signed him.
There you go.
And Harry Kane was front and centre of our kit launch the summer that we sold him.
Yeah.
So Bale as well.
Times Square.
So I wouldn't read too much into him being front and centre of the kit launch. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, if he's left out of a kit launch, he can also say something. But I think being left in it, it's just I don't know. You can read into whether they're trying to say something with it. I do think it's probably no coincidence those two players have been heavily linked with moves, and they're the ones front and centre of it. I think Bournemouth are known to try and extract the best value, and they're gonna. That's exactly what they're going to try and do. They're trying to send a message out. They're not for sale. If you're gonna sign them, you're gonna have to pay the fees that we want.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So let us know. Do you take anything from that report? With one little quote from the agent, Moussa Sissoko. Is he going to come to Tottenham? Do you think this move's going to get done?
I think. Do I think this move's get done? I've got a feeling it will, but it's impossible to say. But I think if we put 100 million down, I think it gets done.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet against it.
I don't think anyone matches it. I think he would accept it. I think Bournemouth would accept it. Less than 100 million, I think. I'm not 100%. I'm not sure. If we are willing to put big money down, I think it gets done.
Just trying to see what the transfer.
I don't think he goes to Arsenal or PSG this summer.
So Spurs are favourites at evens. Some sites even offering less than evens.
I don't think he goes to Arsenal or PSG.
PSG are at 7-1. Arsenal are at 16-1, 8-1 some places, and to stay at Bournemouth is 2-1. So Tottenham the favourites right now.
I think those are the two choices. I don't think he goes to Arsenal or PSG. I think it's either he stays at Bournemouth or he comes to Tottenham.
Yeah, I agree with that. So we'll see what happens, guys. We'll see what happens. But that is the word on the street about Eli Kroupi right now. But the Spurs boys are back in pre-season, or some of them are anyway. And we saw some of them walk through the doors at Hotspur Way in the, this morning really. You got Richarlison, Ben Davis, Solanke, Conor Gallagher, Archie Gray.